Hi, I'm Sarah from The Upcoming. A real pleasure to have you here with us in London for the film festival. If you could begin with a brief introduction to your film, what can people expect when they watch it?
So I'm Jonathan Millet, director of Ghost Trail. This is my first feature film, and it is a spy movie inspired by true story. This is the story of a secret group tracking down war criminals in Europe.
And I understand you formerly worked mainly on documentaries. So what inspired you to turn your attention to fiction filmmaking, and why this particular story?
So everything is true in this story, but I knew I needed some fiction tools to share it with the audience. For me, making fiction is just another way to share and to make people able to identify or to plunge into the character's mind. I knew I needed work on sound, music, working with comedians to put intensity. I wanted to use the genre, the spy film, to make this story as powerful as the day I've heard it from someone real.
In terms of the look and feel of the film, of it being kind of a political thriller, did you take references from other films of this kind of genre or other filmmakers?
What I really like in spy film is the loneliness of the character and the obsessions. So I watch a lot of spy movie. I was not so inspired about still because I wanted to make my own and I was looking for something different in terms of authenticity, but I knew that really the loneliness and obsessions of character in spy genre are so great. And I'm thinking about The Conversation from Coppola, for example. And for me, it's really a huge film about loneliness and I like it so much.
Thinking of your cast, what was the process of deciding who was going to be in your film? Particularly Adam Messer, I've seen him do some extraordinary work before and really quite contrasting roles as well, kind of more indie films, also sort of big budget Hollywood, and he seems to be able to go between the two very seamlessly. So why was he the right person to play the film?
Yeah. Well, it was a really long process. It took me like a year to find the two guys. First, I thought I needed some Syrian comedians because the accent, the language, the authenticity of it, but it was really hard for Syrian comedians to play in my film because Bashar al-Assad is still in power and they can have some family in danger if they accept it. So I had to open myself to other nationalities, and I've met more than 140 comedians, Arabic spoken, from many countries. And one day I met Adam, and I knew he has intensity I was looking for. He had the interiority I wanted, because in my film, in one look, we need to believe that he was in jail, that he lost his daughter, that he lost his wife, and really he has something like weighing on him, and he also knows how to give us access to this interiority. I am so afraid of overplayed, especially in that kind of film, and I know Adam can really play simply, just sit, and we have the feeling to be into this turmoil or to be in his deeper south, and he know how to play it.
And in the making of it, what were some of your most challenging moments on the shoot? And on the flip side, did you have some favorite moments, or when you watch the film back now, a favorite scene?
We had a lot of challenging moments because it's a first feature film and we shot in 3 countries. I think one hard thing now is no one is playing in the language he really speaks. So everyone has some coaches for accent or for anything. So Adam does not speak Syrian and he has no the accent, so he has to work for 3 months and he has coaches from while we were shooting. And this is the same for all characters. I mean, the German girl does not speak one word of French, so she's only speaking in phonetic. And the other character does not know French as well, and he's just learned it before we shoot. It was quite challenging, but I feel confident about it, and at the end it was okay, but it was really a big mess while we were shooting. And I have to say, I spent days and days to dream about the first shot of the film. I mean, the opening scene and the opening shot. I knew I wanted to be in the dark for like 1 minute, and then slowly you have a little light and you are in the middle of the desert. And I know for me it's like a way to tell the viewers what kind of film it is. It's gonna tell you, the viewers, you have some space, you have to think about it a little, you have to bring your imagination to the film. And I really like this shot a lot.
And in terms of the takeaways from your film, I guess on one level you can watch it as as a thriller, as a spy film, but it's obviously touching on the fact that it's based on a true story. It's shedding a light on some of the situations, whether that's for refugees, whether that's for people who have been persecuted in prison. So what do you hope that people take away from watching it?
To make a thriller, for me, just the form. I mean, when I go to a movie as a viewer, I like really thriller. I like high stakes, intensity and everything, but it's not enough. You have to make a thriller to tell something about life, about character, about anything. For me, this particular story allowed me to bring all the materials I've worked with in 15 years of documentary. This documentary is about exile, bereavement, loneliness, and I also know that behind the thriller side, this is a story of someone who has lost everything and who is asking if he's able to go back to life again. And this is one of the big lines of the film.
And what has it meant to you to have the film here at London Film Festival?
Well, it's great because it was one of the first international festival we have. And what I notice here is everyone have watched so many films. So it is like if all the audience are going to watch your film inside the big story of modern cinema. And this is really great because you want to be challenged, you want to have precise feedback. And I know here everyone is so, intense and full of knowledge about what films are making our last 10 years. That is very inspiring talks.
And how has the film played in your home country? And do you see any difference in the response from playing here?
Well, it had been released because the premiere was in Cannes, and we had the release on the beginning of July in France. We were so happy because it was a success, a big success for us. And we were a little afraid because we have a lot of films about exile in France, but the thriller part make people really wanted to watch it. So it was great. And I think in any countries, people have different ways to go to the film or to compare, or if I speak about justice or anything, I think every nationality has a different access to the big topics of the film.
Now you've had a taste of fiction filmmaking, is this something you're going to continue with? Will you do it in tandem with documentary making? What's next for you?
I fell in love with it, and I think now I'm going to another fiction film. I mean, I have the feeling of only getting 10% of the possibilities of the fiction. I mean, in terms of sound, in terms of editing and anything. So I really want to go further in the exploration of the fiction tools.
Amazing. Well, thank you so much for sharing all that
Thank
with me.
you.
Huge congratulations on the film.
Thank you so much.
Really enjoying the rest of the time here in London. Thanks so much. Cheers.